Hardware is hard. Why hardware is so hard? Harder. Yes, designing for hardware startups is not easy. Let's see why. First of all, to all the technical challenges of a software startup, such as user interface design and programming an app, you have to add PCB design, firmware developing, industrial design, the cost of molding, prototypes, testing, and lots of things that can often go wrong. Plus sometimes the above mentioned app and UI design if you have an integrated software part. Let me mention also that the molding price is not the end of the financial burden, but just the beginning. First batch, packaging, cables, instruction booklet, if any, delivery. They always say that startups fail because they are underfinanced or because of disagreement between the partners. Well, in my years of experience, I've never seen any failure due to this. They always fail for one good reason: distribution channel. Great ideas, great product, great design doesn't reach the shelves, or it reaches the market when it's too late or sometimes too early. It's the distribution channel, the core of everything. For hardware startups, this is crucial because you don't have the shortcut of App Store or Google Play. You have to reach real people in real stores, sign agreements with real human beings, pay listings, fight for shelf positioning, struggle for faster delivery, and price. Gosh, that's so hard. Have we spoke about the complexity of the modern product design world? Indian clients based in Silicon Valley, Kohler designer in Italy, and a PCB design company in India. The PCB is produced in Vietnam, the plastic shell in Malaysia, assembled in China and distributed from Hong Kong, all under the supervision of a product developer that speaks both English and Chinese. Did you know that working with Chinese is not so easy? Did I mention that hardware startups have basically the same time to market as software startups? In the first decade of the last century, it probably took 5 years to bring a chair to the market, 4 years in the 60s and 70s to bring a product to the market, and just yesterday, in 2015, it was probably 1 or 2 years. Now we are asked to press the button of the production chain in weeks from the brief. Crazy times. Designing for hardware startups is hard not only because you have to be comfortable with this geographical complexity, but also because the timing is crazy. And you need to have the ability to see the market 6 months or 1 year ahead. Can you see your product in 2 years? Well, you're a genius. And I want to introduce another character to this horror movie. A large majority of hardware startups are actually made by software people. Nothing wrong with those programmers, coders, electronic engineers. This is often where the first idea comes from. The need for a physical device is secondary and subordinated to the software. This means two things. As a designer, you're often considered a mere service to cover with plastic shells a hard and soft core. And you submit your service to people that have never developed a physical product. Not all of them, but happens a lot. Designing for hardware startups is hard, but it's also fun. You have to be updated on the latest technologies. You have to spend a lot of time in Amazon and in Apple stores and in the markets of Shenzhen. You will wake up with a different problem every day. If this is what drives you, that's your field. Psst, I know industrial designers that have spent a life designing just bathroom fixtures, right? Now let's come to the skills needed to be an industrial designer for hardware companies. Be prepared to work in a team. If you're a solo writer, go back to design furniture accessories. Way better. You'll find yourself working in a complex environment in which the question is not where you live, but which time zone are you in. Did I mention that you have to be connected 24/7? Be prepared to use cloud-based software with strong sharing capabilities. We use Onshape, for example. Be proficient in Trello, Notion, Monday, or any other managing platform, or you'll drown in emails. As said, train yourself to see the market trends ahead and hunt for the coolest innovations. By the way, do you want to have a focus group and a market research for free about the product you're designing? Go to Amazon. Take a look at similar products and see the sale volumes and the reviews. A ton of information, literally for free. Keep your degree of innovation at a high level and pace. You're working in the most innovative field today. There's a revolution here going on. I hope that I gave you some ideas on how to ride the wave. If I did, please consider subscribing and hit the bell button below.